As it's World Mental Health Day, I thought I'd take the opportunity to give some tips on anxiety, like how to manage it and how to overcome it. Anyone who knows me well knows that I've had a bit of a journey with anxiety myself. So, several years ago, while I was at uni, I was in a really bad place. Anxiety had complete control of my life, basically. I couldn't leave the house at some points, couldn't get out of bed, panic attacks, the whole lot. Whereas now I'm in a place where basically, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. I'm not, anxiety doesn't have control over my life. Like, I still get it from time to time. That's normal. I think it's a normal emotion for people to have. But yeah, it doesn't have control of my life, and I just kind of want to share these tips. So, the first thing is exercise. I'm sure you've heard it a billion times before, but the main thing about it is that it's short-term relief. So, if you're in a place where your thoughts are getting out of control or spinning, just go out and do some exercise. It's going to release those endorphins and make you feel a lot better. The other thing is because exercise will make you feel pain or whatever while you're doing it. But what it does is it turns your thoughts to focus on that problem at hand. You know that you've got to go through this exercise, blah blah blah, and it takes away from thinking about whatever else is going on in your life, whatever else is getting out of control in your own head. So yeah, highly recommend it. Get started on that immediately. Next thing, number 2, is to get out of the thinking of you want to go back to normal. I hear a lot of people say this who I've discussed mental health with, or people who've struggled with it, like, I just want to get back to normal. I was the same. I always was like, I just want to get back to normal. Now, coming out of being in, that place which was bad, so I'm a lot better, but I am not the person which I considered like normal, my normal before it all went badly. So you have to let go of that past self which you remember as being happy or whatever. So yeah, it's not going to serve you, and it might seem a bit like spiritual, like Buddhist or whatever, but it's so true. You need to let go of that past self to be able to like move forward. The thing is, okay, so tip number 3, it's also like a very slow process, and it's something that's going to continue to happen. So, for me, it's about 3 or 4 years on now since everything started going quite badly for me. And like, I'm still figuring things out, and I think, that's life's a journey, whatever, get all whatever on it. But yeah, this is going to be a very slow process, and you have to accept that. You've got to take each day step by step. Don't focus on that end goal, but you've also got to believe it's possible. That's the other thing, because otherwise you're not going to be making an effort to do things and get yourself out of it. You do have to want yourself. You've got to make an effort to go out and do things. So the next thing, number 4, it all comes in cycles, pretty much. So, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. That's normal. So you have to realise everything's temporary. But the thing is, it's going to be going like this. But what you want to do, as I'm saying, you're trying to reach to that end goal of being in a better place where things, it doesn't have complete control over you, is that it's going to be in a waveform like that. So things are slowly getting better like that over a long period of time, as I've just suggested, as I've just mentioned. So yeah, that's how you have to think of it. And when things are bad, you have to realise, yeah, it's only temporary. Number 5 is to become friends with your anxiety. That's kind of a strange way to think about it. But especially at the beginning, for me, what would happen is that I'd feel anxious, I didn't understand what it was, and I'd get more anxious about it, and I'd get into a deep spiral where things were getting worse and worse and worse. And at the end of the day, I was just getting anxious about my anxiety, and that it's not, it's silly, isn't it? It sounds ridiculous, but it's what happens. So if you just accept the feeling for what it is and understand this is just anxiety, is what it is, not a big deal, you're basically going to feel so much better, because you're not going to go and take your head to those places where you don't want it to go. And once you can get rid of all those anxious about being anxious, you can then start like progressing on the real problem at hand and just being okay with it. But yeah, don't try and fight it. That's the main thing I'd say. It's just, if you feel anxious, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like, just allow it. Number 6. So thoughts aren't your reality. Yeah. So the way I like to think about this is that humans, we're like kind of like computers. We're always, we're inputting information from our day to day all the time, whatever you see, hear, and then we're processing it, and what we think, feel is kind of like the result of that. But it doesn't mean that what you're thinking is real. So yeah, you kind of have to realise that if you're having negative thoughts and stuff, even positive thoughts at times, you can also be delusional. But if you have negative thoughts, and if you're in an anxious state and you're in disorder or whatever, you have most of the time these thoughts aren't reality, and you have to learn to separate yourself. So you kind of like, again, it's kind of a similar thing to like being friends with anxiety, but like you just watch your anxiety, you feel it, but you don't let it take control over you. If that makes sense, you just allow it. And number 7 is like meditate. So this like, links with your thoughts, and how to be able to do this well is meditate essentially. This is something that I've recently, in the last year or so, started getting more and more consistent on and doing. So I didn't do it as much at the beginning when I was doing like little bits, but this is really going to help you, as I say, separate yourself from those thoughts and be able to watch them and basically kind of like decide which ones you want to choose for your own benefit. And honestly, meditation, I use the Headspace app. I'm not affiliated with it at all. I just genuinely really like it, and I would 100% recommend doing their free trial or whatever, because it just teaches you everything you need to know to be able to do it. Number 8 is to get out of the environment that you're in. So go to new places, do new things. You have to break those cycles of thought that, you're probably in a pattern of doing the same thing every day. You have to make an effort to try and go somewhere else. I was lucky enough to be able to go travelling for 6 months. That's obviously on the very extreme end, and right now it's not the best time to do that. But going to new places, it just breaks you out of the same cycles, same thought processes, and it's just so good for you. So right now, if you can't travel, just go to new places within your area, or if you don't go somewhere often, just do it, because I don't know how to describe it. It's just going to make you feel so much better. It's going to make you feel so much better. And number 9 is to get obsessed by something that you can put all your energy into. So for me, this was photography, video, all of this. I got absolutely obsessed by it, and it was kind of my escape, really. It gave me something else to concentrate on, which wasn't the problems that I was creating in my own head, basically. And once you become obsessed by something, you're creating, you're doing, like, it basically, you're just going to eventually, like, very slowly, oh, there's a fly, very slowly, you're going to be, that is the problem that your mind's going to be focused on, and all the other problems are slowly going to fade away. That's what's happened for me anyway. But yeah, without it, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to be saying the same things right now to you that I feel so good. But yeah, being able to focus on something is just massive. And I'd especially recommend to do something creative, like, I don't know, art, whatever. Or, I don't know, because if you're just escaping by watching movies, I don't know, TV, stuff like that, they have their place, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't do that, but it's completely different. Like, because I don't know, it's just have a crack. So yeah, those are the kind of things that have really helped me get out of it. I hope I've said it in the best way that I can. I don't know, but anyway, if anyone wants to like reach out to me and like talk, I'm always willing to give advice. Like, I really like helping people who've struggled through similar things. Like, message me. It's cool. Yeah. Nice. I feel like that's it. I really hope this might help someone out there. Share it with someone that you think it would help. That would also be really cool. Yeah. Nice one.